Kenya. In the near future, you will launch the Lake Victoria public ferry. Your Excellency, in line with this year's theme of the Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, we request your government to support the setup of the Blue Economy Center of Excellence at the Tom Mboya University, lake safety for our fisherfolk, support for our beach management units, and inclusion of women and youth to attain the 52,000 potential Blue Economy jobs in Kenya. We applaud the commencement of construction of critical road networks, including the Mfangano Ring Road, Rusinga Ring Road, Mbita Sindo Magunga Sori Road, Kadel Kanyadiang Road or the Ojijoteko Road, Rangwe Oboke Nyaburu Road, Rangwe Ndiru Road, Kadongo Gendia Road, Nambakaraboka Diedo Road, the Gor Mahia Ring Road, Wahambla Imbo Road, Lalaruga Road. The Gor Mahia, which you launched just the other day. These projects will enhance connectivity and drive economic growth for our people. Your Excellency, as a county, since coming into government 2.5 years ago, we have raised our on-source revenue by over 700%, from 191 million to over 1 billion shillings. Using these enhanced on-source revenue, we are constructing a 5-story accident and emergency block in our Homabay Teaching and Referral Level 5 hospital, which will serve as our referral hub, our commitment to a healthier and wealthier county. We are aggressively addressing infant and maternal mortality and combating the triple threat of gender-based violence, HIV, and teenage pregnancies. Your Excellency, following cutbacks in foreign assistance, we call on your government to assist county governments in recruitment, in financing recruitment of healthcare workers and regularization of UHC staff. Showcasing our boundless agricultural potential, according to the KNBS, Homabay is the leading producer of fish, sunflowers, sweet potatoes, and peanuts in Kenya, the second largest producer of cotton, and the top 3 millet and sugarcane producer, not forgetting our sweetest pineapples from Olare in Kochia. The establishment of the Riwa Special Economic Zone and the County Aggregation and Industrial Park in partnership with your government will facilitate value addition, agro-processing, industrial growth, wealth and job creation. The setting up of the fish processing plant by Victory Farms aligns with our vision for private sector partnerships. We call on more private sector players to set up at the Riwa Special Economic Zone in areas of cotton ginning, edible oil processing, sweet potato pelleting, among other value chains. We request your government, Your Excellency, to support us with the horizontal infrastructure at the Riwa SCC. Your Excellency, we are committed to education. We have built 241 classrooms under a program dubbed Dondoa Kaunda in the last 2 years. Our Fundi Mangula Vocational Training Scholarship, Fins to Swim Scholarship, and bursary program supports over 20,000 beneficiaries every year. We thank all our partners for their support across various sectors. Joturuawa Mabor, Tokendoa de Mabor. The construction of our new county headquarters in partnership with CPF is now nearly complete, and it will provide a one-stop shop for all government services, complete with a Huduma Center. This project is part of a broader vision to transform Homabay into a vibrant economic hub and a gateway to East Africa. We are relocating administrative offices to open up the lakefront for investment, tourism, and hospitality. Our larger vision is to have a Homabay city in a decade, the Cape Town of Kenya. Your Excellency, on behalf of the people of Homabay, let me thank you for appointing our sons, CS National Treasury, Honorable FCPA John Mbadi, and the PS Interior, Dr. Raymond Omolo, to critical dockets in your government. Your Excellency, let me celebrate our unity in progress. The success of Homabay has been achieved by working together in our quest for development as captured in the ODM 10-point agenda. I thank you, Mr. President, and Your Excellency Baba, for coming together to ensure that no Kenyan is left behind through this broad-based arrangement. by having everyone on board the Kenya prosperity ship, the men, the women, the youth, the persons with disability, the elderly, the marginalized, and all 47 counties. As we celebrate 62 years of self-rule, let us recommit ourselves to national unity, progress, and development. In closing, Your Excellency, I take this opportunity to warmly invite you all back to our county for the Devolution Conference in August 2025 and the World Food Day in October 2025, and tomorrow as we host the Mashebeji Derby for the first time outside Nairobi at this same stadium, the home of Engineer Michael Olunga. God bless Homabay County. God bless Kenya. Ero urukamano jothurua. Ero urukamano kwa mruako welo.
Makofi ya Governor tafadhali. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, sir, before Her Excellency invites the Deputy President, allow me to give PS Hinga a few minutes to give us an update on where we are with affordable housing. Tupigie makofi PS Hinga akija kunena machache. Your Excellency, the President, allow me to ride on the protocols already established. Mahatma Gandhi once said a nation's greatness is not defined by its economic power or military strength alone, but rather by how it treats its most vulnerable members. Another great, Nelson Mandela, says, "What matters in life is not the mere fact that we lived. It is what difference we make to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the lives that we lead." Your Excellency, as we celebrate Madaraka Day, we need to ask ourselves the question, 62 years later, are we free yet? I dare say that we are heading in the right direction because, Your Excellency, this morning or this afternoon, there are 3 Kenyans who represent a growing list of the new homeowners that you are going to present with their right to home ownership. Your Excellency, freedom from indignity, freedom from living in squalor, freedom from having to pay to use a toilet, freedom where someone doesn't have to pay 172% more for water. That is true freedom. Your Excellency, allow me to invite the 3 that represent the new homeowners. I have Damaris Adoyo Ochele. Damaris. Your Excellency, Damaris is a county administrator in the county of Homabay, and she is a homeowner. I would like to request that Your Excellency, you come in front with your permission so that you can be able to present her with her right to home ownership. Damaris, come on, tuwapigie makofi Damaris tafadhali. Damaris, asante sana, utangoja hapo pia. Your Excellency, ngoja tu hapo. The next person I want to invite is Victor Okoyo. Victor, ni yule jamaa unasema wa kubonyeza kompyuta dola inaingia. Victor is also able-bodied differently, and that means, Your Excellency, that we are still taking care of the most vulnerable people in our society. Victor is a new homeowner. Thank you so much. Makofi kwa Victor. Last but not least, we have Helen Osala. Your Excellency, that face I'm sure is familiar because Helen Osala is Mama Samaki. She is one of the ladies that had the pleasure of cooking for you fish the other day. She is a true testament of what you talked about bottom up. When you talked about you're going to build serikali na mama mboga na watu wa boda boda. Asante sana for dignifying Helen. So I will ask them now to stand close to you, Your Excellency, so that they can take a photo. These are the 3 new homeowners that represent majority of the growing list of new homeowners. Your Excellency, we have changed the tune from freedom is coming tomorrow to freedom is here. Let's celebrate Madaraka Day for majority of Kenyans who are new homeowners. Thank you. God bless this great country.
Your Excellency, allow me to invite now His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki. Jothurwa warwak jatelo.
Mheshimiwa Rais, allow me to write on the protocols which have already been laid out. Mheshimiwa Rais, naomba kwa heshima kubwa, kabla sijakualika, kwa sababu leo tungetaka tukusikie, niambie wananchi, Rais ameniuliza kwa heshima nimsaidie kwa kumwita rafiki yake, kiongozi wetu ambaye ni mwanasiasa ambaye amekuwa na ushawishi mkubwa sana katika siasa zetu za Kenya. And therefore I feel greatly honored to request with a lot of humility His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga to say jambo before I can invite the president. Wapi nduru ya baba jameni?
Your Excellency, President Ruto, Your Excellency, President Natasha Musa of Slovenia, the diplomats who are here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo, Jothurwa, Umar, Will, Uchiek. It is an honor, Your Excellency, to be allowed to greet these people today. This, as the governor said, is a great day for the Homabay County. But more importantly, Your Excellency, it is a testament that devolution works and can work if it is empowered. Your Excellency, 62 years ago, the founding fathers of our nation, after a very long struggle for independence, attained internal self-government on this day. And that's the day when people now had
still taking care of the most vulnerable people in our society. Victor is a new homeowner.
meant that first they want us to live in peace. And peace is just not the absence of war. Peace means that somebody has also got food to eat. And they say that unity, people should be united without any discrimination on the basis of gender, on the basis of tribe, on the basis of religion, and on the basis of people should be united without any discrimination on the basis of gender, on the basis of tribe, on the basis of religion, and on the basis of culture. This is what our founding fathers wanted. Your Excellency, at that time, they coined a constitution that had devolution in it, called Majimbo at that time. Over the years, Your Excellency, there were changes. Eventually, when we struggled, we brought back devolution in our constitution. This devolution, Your Excellency, has had several challenges. I want to invite you, Your Excellency, to ensure that devolution works. Empower the devolution. Number one, by giving more resources coming down to the counties. Then the counties have sufficient resources so that they can be able to provide services to the people. And then there are also some services which were not devolved. But Your Excellency, those services which are not devolved can be delegated to be implemented by the government. Your Excellency, I want to plead with you, do not resurrect provincial administration. Provincial administration is a relic of colonialism that has no place today in a free and independent Kenya. We want to see that the governors get sufficient resources to do their work. And then they are also going to be supervised by other institutions. We want also our members of parliament to continue to do their work effectively by representing, legislating, and oversighting the national government, but allow the development to be done by the county government themselves. Your Excellency, if we do this country is going to develop at much faster rate. That is why I would like to, here today on the National Day, appeal to Parliament to implement what we had put in our agreement, that 450 billion shillings be allocated to counties in this coming budget. Finally, Your Excellency, you have had several challenges. We have had a lot of issues 2 years ago. Agencies. There was apologies that have been, which is wonderful, as a first step to reconciliation. But then there's the issue of people who are injured and people who died during that time. I want to today to say that we should do compensation to families of those who died and those who are injured, so that we can have a closure of this chapter of our national history. Today, we want Kenyans to live in peace and in unity. Yudhurwa, uneno kimana noni, uije maber, uroko welu, amiyari wani Yudhurwa mondo riure kwa dhinyime. Onge kumadwadi, onge kumae, onge kumachamunadi, kumadi. Your Excellency, thank you very much. Long live Kenya. Asante.
Your Excellency, before I invite you, allow me just to say this in a minute. That this generation owes the generation that fought for the political freedom of Kenya, the debt of fighting for the economic freedom of our country. As you lead us, Your Excellency, I am satisfied that we are on a course of paying the historical debt of our forefathers who fought for the freedom of Kenyans to govern their own affairs and to rule themselves. We are paying that debt by ensuring we also provide economic freedom to Kenya and its people. Number two, Your Excellency, in that journey, I am equally persuaded that we as a country, and with you as our leader, we are also creating a more inclusive Kenya. From an economic standpoint, for a long time, the investments of national resources, especially in supporting the value chains from where the majority of our people derive their income, those resources have sometimes forgotten certain sectors. I am glad, under your administration, Your Excellency, we are spending more money, not only to strengthen the traditional value chains in tea and coffee and all the other important crops grown in our country, not just in livestock development, but we are also spending enough resources to provide support to fisher folk and make sure our country maximizes from our blue economy resources. Finally, Your Excellency, as we live and travel this journey, it is also clear on us that between yourself and His Excellency Raila Odinga, you are speaking to our nation so that we can forge closer ties among ourselves as citizens of Kenya, reduce barriers brought about by politics, ethnicity, religion. And going forward, Your Excellency, we look forward to your partnership, yourself and His Excellency Raila Odinga, and the rest of us who are fortunate to be in leadership positions, to build a more united Kenya, a more inclusive Kenya, where one's place of birth, religion, ethnicity doesn't have to count. Rather, their merit and what they bring on board in the contribution of our national development is what matters. I want to appeal that we also bring on board all generations, so that the younger people, the older people, the children, and even the generations to come, we all find ourselves in that one ecosystem, because we all belong to this country. No generation is superior to the other. The older people have a role to play. The younger people have a role to play. Our children have a role to play. Even the unborn, when they arrive in the world through Kenya, they will have a role to play. Nakushukuru Mheshimiwa Rais, na mimi nataka nikuambie nitaendelea kusaidia vile unajaribu kuunganisha Kenya. Nimshukuru mzee wetu Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, ambaye ni kiongozi amesukuma siasa ya Kenya kwa muda mrefu, before some of us even arrived in the scene. But he is courageous enough, patient enough all the time to consider Kenya greater than each one of us. Na kwa hayo mengi, Mheshimiwa Rais, allow me, fellow Kenyans, that we be upstanding as we invite President William Ruto to come and address us. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele jameni? Asanteni sana. Welcome, Mr. President.
Your Excellency, President Natasha Irsi Musa from Slovenia, our special guest in this 62nd Madaraka Day here in Homabay. Your Excellencies, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the great people of Homabay and Kenya, hamjambo. Homabay hoye. Amoso ujadurwa. Jadurwa untie. Jadurwa umon. Jadurwa uil. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Asanteni sana. Kwanza, kabla sijasoma taarifa yangu ya siku ya leo, in our midst we have a friend of Kenya, a great lady who has paid us a visit. When I invited her to come, she was gracious to consider time to come and fellowship with us. And more importantly, she agreed to be a special guest on this Madaraka Day in Homabay. Your Excellency, Madam President, we honor you. We are grateful for your consideration and for coming to be in our midst. And the people of Kenya, represented by the people here, welcome you to Kenya. And as a special guest, let me allow you to make your statement. Tumkaribishe Mheshimiwa Rais na makofi jameni. Welcome, Madam President.
Hello, everybody. Dear Mr. President, distinguished guests, and above all, people of Kenya, I stand here before you, deeply honored by the privilege that Kenya, a proud and powerful nation of the African continent, has bestowed upon me to address the Kenyan people on behalf of the people of Slovenia. I stand before you, humbled yet proud of how warmly Slovenia has been received and of our shared desire to see the cooperation between our two countries flourish. The Kenyan people wrote a pivotal chapter in history. Madaraka Day, the day Kenya gained the freedom of self-government, marked the day Kenya finally secured the right to shape its future. An arduous journey came to an end. The days when foreign settlers drove the Kenyan population from fertile land and forced them into poorly paid labor are long gone, but they will never be forgotten. For the struggle for the independence was anything but easy, and it came at a heavy cost. Of course, the Kenyan people know only too well that history is not just about facts. It is also about preserving and developing the fundamental values that ensure the survival of a nation. Values that strengthen its identity and above all, its unity. Jomo Kenyatta, the man who led Kenya to independence, recognized this. He also knew that Kenya's unity alone would not be enough to secure a bright future of Africa. Africa must also unite. A strong Africa, ladies and gentlemen, means a strong Kenya. In this context, we must recall another milestone anniversary. The year 1945 not only marked the end of the Second World War. That year, 80 years ago, the Pan-African Federation was created. The founders of the Federation, including Jomo Kenyatta, sent a clear message to the world. 700 million people living under colonial rule and without rights had had enough. They demanded their place under the sun. One by one, the former colonies became sovereign and independent states, but the idea of African unity never faded, least of all in Kenya. What better proof of this vision than the most important project in African history to date? The creation of the African Continental Free Trade Area in 2018. Kenya was among the first countries to ratify the founding treaty. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, the lessons of the past shape our vision of the future. In the 1960s, the world experienced a wave of decolonization. Yet in many ways, colonialism, and if I may say so, a condescending attitude towards the newly independent states did not just cease to exist, but there was a way to build self-confidence and assert oneself on the world stage. My generation, ladies and gentlemen, grew up in former Yugoslavia. We still remember the non-aligned movement of the Cold War era, a large and respected group of countries, including Kenya, that defied the interests of the superpowers and former colonial powers. That spirit of non-alignment was vital then, and it remains relevant today. We live in a world where both old and emerging powers are yet again shaping the world before our eyes. All the rest of us, the smaller countries, observe these developments. We must ask ourselves, what about us? Are we ready to raise our voices? And Mr. President, we are ready. Both our countries are preparing for the future, and we have chosen the right path. Sustainable economic growth, protection.
Nini uko nayo? Nini uko nayo?
Faced with rapid scientific development, a commitment to multilateralism, to international cooperation and tackling common problems. These are the values that unite us. As you know, Slovenia is currently serving as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Our diplomats take their role seriously and responsibly. They speak out whenever injustice is done to people all over the world, whenever innocent lives are lost. Kenya, too, brings a rich, in many ways unparalleled experience in multilateralism. The international importance of the country is reflected in the fact that several United Nations agencies are based here. Both our countries believe in multilateralism because peace, justice and prosperity should not be the privilege of some at the expense of others. We are, after all, an international community, and in a community we look out for one another. And in a community, solidarity matters. In a community, cooperation must be our goal, not selfishness. In a community, peaceful settlement of disputes, not wars, must be the norm. Only such a united community will be capable of confronting the world's most urgent challenges, such as poverty and climate change, lack of access to basic needs, and social exclusion. This is why we should be proud that there are several projects in which Kenya and Slovenia are working together to support each other in tackling these kind of challenges. Dear Mr. President, dear people of Kenya, the Slovenian people celebrate Madaraka Day with you. We are a young country, but we do have our own story of struggle for independence. We celebrate with you because we are both proud and confident nations, nations that revere the past yet look firmly to the future. We must not be discouraged by the troubled world in which we live. We should look for opportunities that lead to a strong economy, scientific progress, innovation, and environmental protection. Unity and determination have brought us this far. They will take us even further. As late Kenyan and African literature giant Ngugi wa Thiong'o had said in his dreams in a time of war, believe in yourself is more important than endless worries of what others think of you. Value yourself and others will value you. Validation is best that comes from within. Happy Madaraka Day. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Madam President. And thank you very much for that statement. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense joy to be back in this county of limitless potential, Homabay. It has been 62 eventful years since we took this historic step towards full independence through our hard work, determination, and self-belief. We have defied odds, surmounted challenges, triumphed over adversity, and emerged as a modern democratic state whose government and economy are energized by the restless ambition of confident citizens. Our forefathers knew, as we do, that we, the people, are the foundation, the pillars, and the engine of this nation, and that only we can do the work of building the Kenya we want. More critically, we understand keenly that this country is our home, and we have no other. This is why, wherever they go all over the world, Kenyans never forget their home.